Hey there friends, it's Liz from the Peacock Homestead, and in this week's video we had went to the Amish food market a second time, not this Friday but the Friday before, and I'm preserving some of the things that I got from the market. We're also doing some scratch cooking, and I'll be replanting my stinging nettle. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, let's get into the video. And I do apologize if I sound nasally. It's because I've been blowing my nose throughout the whole week. I have been super sick starting Thursday, and it's Sunday now, and I'm still feeling pretty yucky, but I'm trying to get better by drinking my immune boosting tea and drinking my elderberry syrup. So hopefully I'll get this cold kicked right in the butt soon.
Tonight again we have 5 bags of 20-pound bags of red potatoes. Same potatoes. 5 bags. We got a half bushel of jalapenos.
All right, let's take a look at what I got at the market. So I got some sweet potatoes, and I got 4 heads of cabbage, and right here is horseradish root, and I got some broccoli again, and I got these really neat decorative corns, so I'm going to be decorating around the house with those. And I also got some tomatoes, so I'm going to be making some barbecue sauce and ketchup with these Roma tomatoes. And I also got a bit of butternut squash here, so that was really exciting. And I'll be making some soups and casserole with these. And the last thing I want to show you is I got some more chocolate, so I'm just gonna pop 2 of these in the freezer and leave 1 package out so we can have a nice little dessert for after dinner. And of course I got Jackie inspecting everything before I put it away. I always have to pay the corgi tax. So right away for dinner, I decided that I was going to make a homemade butternut squash soup. So right here, I just had slathered some olive oil on top, and I'm going to bake this in the oven. I got it all baked up, and I am just going to add all the things. And we're going to have some pork chops with it and a bit of steamed broccoli. So that'll be our dinner tonight. So I don't really have any measurements right now, but I'm going to be working on it for my blog. So right in here I have a whole quart of chicken bone broth. Then I have the butternut squash. I'll add a little bit of milk to it and a little bit of chicken bouillon spice, and that's how we like it, with a bit of salt and pepper. And right here I have my pork chops frying in my cast iron pan. All I did was put a bit of barbecue seasoning on it that I got from Price Chopper. And we're just getting those fried up, and then I'm gonna steam the broccoli. And I think any leftover broccoli that I have diced up, I'm just gonna blanch and pop it in my freezer for later. I almost forgot I had some rosemary kicking in the garden, so I'm going to be adding some rosemary, my favorite spice for butternut squash soup. So I'm just going to add that towards the end, and it'll be delish. Looks like the pork chops are done. I'm going to get these out. The broccoli looks pretty done there. It turns like a really bright green when it's done, so I'm thinking that's done, and we are going to serve dinner. So this is what dinner looked like on that night. It really hit the spot. I love the rosemary with the butternut squash soup, and the pork chops and the broccoli were definitely delicious. So this week, with the tomatoes that I got from the Amish market, I decided I was going to make a little batch of barbecue sauce. And I got that recipe from the Bob Lou book of canning and preserving. So there's peppers in there, onions, and then I have some garlic and salt and pepper. And I'm just gonna can that up, and I'm gonna process it in my steam canner for about 35 minutes. I'm not really big on buying barbecue sauce at the store because I always end up making homemade barbecue sauce with my ketchup, because you can just add molasses, sugar, onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and there's your barbecue sauce. So I figure I'll make this from scratch and we'll see how it is. And I'm gonna probably use it on chicken, probably some roast that I have. It will be delicious. And this is a start to my homemade ketchup. I did make some last year, but I'm almost out. And the only thing different about this recipe is I'm adding some cinnamon, and no garlic is added in there. I have onions and peppers. And I'm gonna be using the barbecue sauce tonight on my chicken. So all I did was put some barbecue spice on it, and then I'm gonna add this, a half a jar of barbecue sauce, and I'm gonna get that going in the oven, and then I'll continue with my ketchup. So while that's in the oven, I'm just gonna can my ketchup up. And I'll probably bake this at 350 for about 45 to 50 minutes. So now the ketchup is ready to go in the jars, and I'll just process these again for a good 35 minutes in my steam canner. So last year I made my ketchup a little runnier than I liked, but the flavor was spot on. And this year I made it a little bit more thick, so I'll be excited to be using that up this year. I did have a little extra left over, so I have it in this half pint, and I'm just gonna pop that in the fridge. With dinner tonight, I decided to go for a vegetable, and I'm gonna make some of these green beans that I got from the last Amish market. And that is going to go really well with my barbecue chicken, and that is what that looks like on this night. It was super delicious, and the barbecue sauce turned out really good. And my ketchup is finally coming out of the canner, and I'll have that on my shelf and we'll use it up this year. I'm going to definitely be converting some of these into barbecue sauce if I run out. So this is 2 days worth of canning. I canned up a gallon of milk that was going to go bad, so I saved a life on that. And I have my ketchup and my barbecue sauce, and they'll be going on my shelf. So now I'm on my last little batch of tomatoes, so I'm just going to make stewed tomatoes. And while those are going, I'm going to make us a little snacky lunch. So here I have some of my homemade cheddar, my traditional cheddar, and I'm going to be making that in a few videos from now. If not the next video, then video after. So I can't wait to show you guys that. Here I have some salami from Aldi's. And I have my red pepper jelly, which was amazing with this little snacky lunch. It was so delicious, and we'll be having this again for lunch, hopefully soon. When we were kids, we ate a lot of pepperoni and cheese and crackers, so this is my favorite snack. So I finally have my stewed tomatoes all cooked up. We finished our lunch, and I'm just going to get these in jars. I put a 1/4 teaspoon of citric acid in it, and I'm going to steam can these for 30 minutes. This is horseradish root. I got this at the Amish market, and my main use for this is going to be making some fire cider. as well as some chip dips and a whole bunch of other things, but mainly herbal medicine. So I'll be making fire cider. Usually what goes in fire cider is citrus. Then you have your spices and herbs that you want to use. I like using whatever is available. Right now I have some thyme in the garden that I need to get and some sage, so I'll be using that for my fire cider. And of course apple cider vinegar is the main ingredient, and you can just make it your own and put all the things in it, and that you can make for an immune booster, or if you are sick you can just take shots of your apple cider vinegar. I like to put it in orange juice so I get vitamin C in my apple cider vinegar, and that will help battle all the winter colds. So my stewed tomatoes are all done. I'm gonna let those cool and get those put away. For breakfast this week, I made some eggs and bacon, and I had some croissants from Aldi's, and we're just gonna make a quick little breakfast sandwich that definitely hit the spot and was much needed on this day. I decided to tackle the cabbage, and I was kind of in a hurry, so I'm not even going to blanch them. I just decided that I was going to chop them up into wedges and get them into the freezer. So I'm going to vacuum pack that up, and we'll probably eat these pretty quickly, so I didn't even bother blanching them. And then we'll have some extra and different variety of veggies for the winter. So for these cabbage, I got them for $2.10 a piece, and the Amish down the road, they sell them for $3, so I did get a little better deal at this auction. The butternut squash was 90 cents a piece, and I got 12 of those, so I spent $10.80. The little popcorn decorations were quite pricey. I did spend $24 on them. They were $3 a piece, and I got 8. The horseradish, that was a half a peck, so that was $5. So I spent $5 on that. The broccoli was a half a peck. I got $3.75, so that was $7.50 I paid for the broccoli. The sweet potatoes were $8, and the peanut butter cups were $3.25. And I got the big box of tomatoes for $9. So I think we did pretty good, and all of that stuff will be very handy this winter. We actually got a pretty big frost this week, so we've been working on going in the garden and getting things all weeded and put to bed. So that's our next project we'll be doing for this week, and hopefully next week we'll get that done. It's definitely sad to see everything get put to bed and just taken out of the garden. But these are the last little bits of peppers coming out of the garden. So I thought I would put that all on some chicken and get that going in the oven. And then I got a little bit of cabbage. I have some barbecue seasoning on it that I got from Price Chopper. And I have some butter, salt, and pepper. And it's really good with beef tallow, by the way, if you're cooking with that. It gives it such a nice flavor. So I got that all frying in my pan, and I had put those peppers all on the chicken, so that's all done. And I added some barbecue seasoning on top, and that was super delicious, and we are going to get that served. One of my projects was to move these stinging nettles. So I know they were going to engulf my whole bed, so I decided that I was going to put them on the side of the shed. So that's what I'm doing. I am pulling these out, and I'm going to actually save some of the roots to make some medicine. So I'll make some of this a tincture and a tea, and it's really good for men's health, but it's really good for women as well. So I'll be getting that all washed up and dried. And now I'm just transplanting the stinging nettle. Of course I have gloves on because that really bites really good. So I'm gonna pop these in the ground. And of course Blessin has to give me kisses. She's such a cutie pie. And then I'll give it a good water. And now it'll have time to acclimate for next year. I really love stinging nettles in soups and making tea with it. And I found this silly looking pumpkin. It looks like a flat heart, but it is really nice and it'll definitely bake very well. So I'm giving my stinging nettles a good water and they'll be set for the winter. And the roof is finally up on the shed. That's exciting. So that's one last project. There is a little tweaking on the shed that we have to do, but we'll be doing that a little bit at a time. And the goaty girls, they're just relaxing in the sun. That's their favorite place, is to sit in the sun. We've all definitely been enjoying the cooler weather. It's so much nicer than that hot, sticky weather. I'm definitely going to miss gardening. I'm not going to miss preserving any food, that's for sure. But it was definitely worth all that hard work. I hope you all have a blessed week, and I'll see you on the next one, friends.